Hi guys, welcome to the final session of Search Engine Marketing. Before we begin, just wanted to confirm whether you guys can hear me and see the screen. Guys, can you hear me clearly? Can you just say yes if you can? Alright, thanks Anuradha. Okay, so as I said, this is the final session for search engine marketing. So we have covered a lot till now in last three sessions. We started with the basic concepts of AdWords. We started with the search network, and then we moved on to display network. And today, in the last session, we'll basically conclude with mobile ad campaigns, and then we'll talk about bunch of things, including report editor, optimization strategies, and finally the AdWords account audit. All right. Okay. Before we begin the session, I just want to confirm if all of us have done our assignments. Did we do the finish the assignments and quiz for last 3 weeks, guys? Okay, Abhijit, that's good. Others, Tejaswini has done half. Okay, and Radha is done. That's pretty good. Text display is not approved. Your text ad is not approved. That takes time sometimes, and Radha. If it doesn't get approved, just there's a way to approach the customer support and tell them that the ad is not approved. Just Google it, so that should be done. Deepak is saying not complete. Okay, okay, okay. All right. So since today is the last session, what you can do is Deepak, Tejaswini, you guys should definitely complete your assignments after this, right? Because you would have gone through all the theory, and I really believe that unless you do the practical implementation in your own AdWords account, concepts won't stick, right? So please do that after today's session. Okay, great, Deepak. Okay, guys. So today we are going to start with mobile ad campaigns, universal app campaigns, right? And then we'll talk about bunch of other things. So I'll try to cover these two things in first half, right? We'll take a break after that, and then we'll come back, cover the remaining topics. All right, great. Okay, guys. So let's start with mobile ad campaigns. So most of us have mobile phones now, right? The penetration of mobile phones has been increasing in India constantly over the last few years, right? So consumers are online using multiple devices, not just mobile phones. It's also tablets, laptops. There's several devices, right? So earlier it used to be just desktop, and then came laptops, right? But and phones were very basic. There were no smartphones in 2005, right? Until the iPhone, actually not 5, but a little bit before that, until the iPhone came along and changed the market completely. Even the smartphones of that era used to be nothing like smart iPhones, right? Uh, but since the inception of iPhone, even other companies started making smartphones, and now they're everywhere. And then not just smartphones, then came along tablets and iPads and the bunch of other devices which are used by people, by consumers. Okay, and since consumers are using multiple devices to get online, it's very important for us marketers to know how to reach them on different devices, right? Because not all devices work in the same way. If you think about it, uh, mobile phones, if I talk about mobile phones, they have very small screens, right? So if you basically show the same size of text, same font of text on mobile phone and laptops, it might not look uh, readable on your mobile phone, right? And that's why it's very important to customize your experience on mobile phones. Okay, and hence we also need to create mobile specific ad campaigns. Okay, so studies showed increasing number of users logging online from mobile devices and making purchase decisions. Okay, so there have been several studies on it. Most people are using mobile phones. They are spending a lot of time browsing on mobile phones. But are people really buying stuff online? I mean, just think about it. A lot of us actually don't, or don't do it often, right? Most people, there are a lot of people who prefer buying from laptops, but studies have actually shown that it's not the case. There's several people who are making purchase decisions on mobile phones or even other devices, right? And hence designing your ad in the right format to be shown on the right device is the key. So as I said, not all kind of communication or experience will work on all the devices, and that's why it's very important that you design and customize your ad in the right format to be shown on different devices, right? So if you see here, the ad looks differently on mobile phone, differently on tablet, different kinds of tablet, right? On different kinds of sites on tablet, right? So that's pretty much key to make sure that you get good conversions or people click on your ad on different devices. Okay. Okay. So where do mobile ads show up? They're different places. On smartphone and tablets, they show on search results, right? On phone also. When you search on Google, when you search anything on Google, you will see some ads here, right? So these come on smartphone and tablet, just like your laptops, right? Then inside apps. So if suppose you're playing a game, you must have seen this often, that you see an ad popping up in between. It could be a banner ad, it could be a video ad. There are a bunch of ads which do come up when you use any app, not just games. Games is a good example. Uh, but yeah, I mean, you everyone must have seen the ads inside apps, so they can come there. Then we have mobile web browsers, right? So you have Safari on iPhone, there's Chrome, there's a bunch of browsers on mobile phones. When you search on these browsers, there also you see the ads. Okay, and finally on Google Play Store, of course. So when you are searching for any app on Android device, you will see an ad for an app also. Okay, so this is what it is. All right. Okay, so on mobile phone and tablets, what kind of ads can show? So there can be text ads, there can be image ads, there can be app promotion ads, right? And there can be HTML5 ads built with Google Web Designer. So there's something called Google Web Designer, and you can create HTML5 ads also. So primarily it's text, image, app promotion ads, and HTML5 ads. So within apps on mobile phones and tablets, so we talked about different places where the ads show up, right? So on mobile phones and tablets, these are the kinds of ads which can show within apps, inside apps on mobile phone and tablets. You can show text ads, image ads, again app promotion ads. So all the three. You can also show image app promotion ads, video app promotion ads, and finally you can show TrueView for app promotion ads. Okay. So TrueView for app promotion ads are basically the YouTube ads. Call only ads show up only on devices that can make phone calls. So we'll talk about something called call only ads, and they can show up only on devices which can make phone calls. So we'll talk about it, and I'll explain. So these are the ads where you have a button to call, and that is only possible on devices where you can make the phone call. So you can't show that on a tablet which doesn't allow you to make phone calls, right? Okay, so whenever you create a campaign, you don't need to worry about whether it is going to run on mobile devices or should I separately create a campaign. All the new campaigns and text ads you create are eligible to run on mobile devices. Okay, if you really don't want to show your ads on a particular device, you need to actually use negative device bid adjustment to to basically make sure that the ads do not show on certain devices. So I'll show that in a moment. Okay. All right. If you want to create a mobile image ad, the requirements are these, right? First of all, you have to select a display network only, of course, because if you want to show image ad, you have to select display network only, or you can select search network with display network edit. Okay. So if you select a search network, there's an option here which says add display network. You can add that as well. If someone is creating ads for you, then you should give them these requirements. So for mobile phones, there are sizes of ads. and on tablet these are the size of ads. And there's a link here which can basically give you all the full list of requirements basically. All right. Okay, now let's talk about something called extensions. So we've talked about ad extensions always, right? So we said that ad extensions basically help enhance the advertisement, right? Gives more information about the ad. So if you remember, we saw several ads. So if I search for anything, bunch of ads come up, right? So we said that these are three elements of an ad. There's headline, there's display URL, and then there's description, right? And whatever you see apart from that, for example, these two lines in Decathlon ad, these are ad extensions. So ad extension can show types of stuff, brands, there are a bunch of things you can do. Even these are like this is organic listing by the way, but you will also see certain in certain ads you'll see some links below, right? These are also ad extensions. So we'll talked about it, right? So what you should do is you should basically definitely use extensions on mobile phone as well, because that helps users who are already on the go and who wants to get to the store, your store. So you can put your location extension, you can put your phone number, and so they can check out the exact location of the store. They can also call up and ask where the store is, right? Okay, then we have something called call only ads. Okay, so if you want to drive calls for your business, what you can do is you can create specific kinds of ads which are just for call. Okay, guys, just give me a second. Okay, before I proceed, Tejaswini has a question. She's saying, should the app like website register with AdSense to show ads? Very good question, Tejaswini. So for mobile apps, instead of AdSense, there's something called AdMob. Okay, so what you have to do is if you have an app, you can actually go to AdMob and register with AdMob, right? And that's how you can monetize your ad. You can basically register with AdMob, and then Google can start showing ads on your app. Okay, and that's how you can make money through your ads. All right, you can read more about it on this site. Is that okay, Tejaswini? Right? Okay. So I was talking about call only ads. So call only ads, as I said, are basically specific type of ads which campaign actually, wherein you can basically show a phone number or basically a phone icon on a mobile phone, and when people see the ad, they can directly click on that icon and connect with your business on over call. Okay. Okay, Anuradha is saying, can you elaborate? I did not understand her question. All right, so Anuradha, Tejaswini was asking, do you remember I talked about AdSense? So AdSense is a platform where any website owner can go and register their website, right? If they want to make money out of it. How? They register on the website on their website on AdSense, then that website basically becomes a part of Google's display network, right? And Google can then start showing ads on that website. And when some advertiser shows ads on that website, they pay to Google, and Google in turn pays to that person who owns the website, right? So that's how people make money from websites. So we talked about it. Now, Tejaswini's question is similar to website. Should apps also have to be registered on AdSense? So I told her that no. There's another platform called AdMob, right? It's owned by Google. In fact, it was bought by Google few years back, and so you have to basically go to AdMob and register your app, similar to AdSense. Does it make sense, Anuradha? Now, Tejaswini, are you clear on this question now? Are you there? All right. Okay, let's continue. In case you have any more follow-up questions on that, you can ask. So I was talking about call only ads, and let me actually show you how to create these. So, okay. So if you create a search network campaign, what you can do is you have an option to create a call only ad here, right? When you create a call only ad, then basically you can put a phone number, and people can directly just call your business. Okay, so that's how it's created. How does it look like? Let me show you that as well. Okay, so it might look like this. It can look like this. So you see here, it's a very good example of call only ad. So if you're looking for a plumber, you search plumber Miami. If you're living in Miami, you get bunch of ads with some messaging and a call button, right? And you can just click on this call button. Once you do that, then the phone is connected to the plumber service in this case, and you can talk to them directly and call them at home or however you want to make it work. All right. Okay, so that's how call only ads work. Okay, that's pretty useful, guys. Not just for services, but also businesses who have a customer support team. They can just put their customer support team's number, and people can directly call them. Right? You would want that, right? So, customer support team or say or sales team or business development team, they usually call their clients, right? So, in case you use call only ads, your clients will directly start calling your sales team or business development team, and that's pretty useful. Okay. All right. Now we have something called app install ads. So let me talk about this. I'm going to use the document we were using earlier in last three sessions. Same document. Just a sec, guys. Actually wanted to show you a video. Just a sec. Yeah, I'll show you in a bit. Okay, so all right. So let's first talk about how do you promote your app. So suppose you create an app, right? You could be a business or you could be an individual who knows how to create apps, and you might create a game or any interesting app. But how do you get people to install that app, right? How do you get people to use that app? So there are two kinds of campaigns which can be used here. One is mobile app install ads, and the second is mobile app engagement ads. Okay, let me talk about each of them. So you have a mobile app, you've created that, right? Now how do you promote it? So what you do is you create something called a UAC campaign, which is universal app campaign. Okay, it's very easy, it's very simple. Earlier there used to be a normal app install ad campaign where you used to create a campaign with ad groups, but that all has been changed in actually last year, late last year, where Google basically replaced mobile app install ads with universal app campaigns. So universal app campaigns were performing much better. And what are they? So universal app campaigns basically are your AdWords campaigns which you create to promote the app installs. Okay, so how do you do that? So again, you go to a new campaign. You have a category called universal app campaign. You select that, right? Here you put the name of your campaign. You select the okay, you've already selected the type of the campaign. You can select the app. Suppose I want to promote Uber, so I select my app here. Okay, how does it detect the app? You can basically uh, find your app from your Google Play or Apple App Store. Okay, so you can basically look up the app and you can add here. Okay, so you need to add the app, then you don't create the ads. So everything is in universal app campaigns is done automatically by AdWords. Okay, all you have to do is select your app, put certain ad text ideas. Okay, what is that text idea? You can put anything. I can say that book cab from anywhere, right? That's just one ad text idea. Then I can say uh, thousands of rides available, airport, um, getting to airport is easy. Okay, something, right? So you can create bunch of app ideas, and these are independent to each other. So it's not like I have to continue the sentence here. I can put four ad text ideas up to 25 characters each, right? And what AdWords will do is it will basically use these text ideas. It will use the information I have put about the app on Google Play Store, right? And then create an ad automatically. So it will also take images from my Play Store, right? When you list an app on Play Store, you put bunch of information about the app. It is images, you put some keywords, you put description, all that plus your text ideas which are independent to each other, right? Anyone can be shown or a bunch of these could be shown, and then creates ads. And these ads look like this. These are sample previews for Play Store, Google Search Network, Display Network, right? So the ads look differently on different networks, and this is how it shows on YouTube. Okay. All right. You can also add your own video ads. So you can basically add a YouTube video, and basically you can show that, advertise that on YouTube. Okay. You can also add some up to 20 images. Okay. So it's not compulsory. If you don't add these images, Google AdWords will pick up these images from your Play Stores. But if you want to add, you can add up to 20 images. Okay. By clicking on upload files and uploading these files. Okay. So that's pretty easy. That's pretty much what you have to do, right? To create the ads, and you don't have to create the ads. AdWords will create the ads for different platforms, and it will create multiple ads, right? And optimize for the best performing ad. Okay. Okay. Once you put this information, you select the app, you put some text ideas, upload images if you want. You select basic settings, which are location. So where do you want to promote this app? If I say India, then it will be just promoted in India, right? Then we have languages, so you can edit and select the language. Then you have campaign optimization. So what's your objective? So it's to get new users for your app, right? So you select that. Then you select the bid strategy, which is cost per install. So target cost per install is the bidding strategy. So we discussed bunch of bidding strategies in second session, right, guys? One of them for app campaigns is target cost per install. It's very simple. You say that I don't want to pay more than X amount to for a one app install. Okay, that's your target cost per install. So if you say that I don't want to pay more than 100 rupees per app install, so you put 100 rupees here, and AdWords will make sure that you get your installs within 100 rupees. Okay, right. And after you select the bidding strategy, you put a budget. So how much you want to spend per day on this campaign? So let's say I want to spend 2000 rupees. Okay, right. So it'll basically then start running the ads. I just have to say save and continue, right? Okay, now I've created the campaign. Very simple, right? Anyone can do it, even if you are not. So USCs were created with the objective that anyone who creates an app can also promote the app, right? So you don't need to be an expert marketer to use universal app campaigns. If you actually compare universal app campaigns to other AdWords campaigns, this is much simpler, right? There are very few settings to be done, and most of the stuff is automated. Okay. Right. So now I've created the app campaign, and my app will start showing. My app ad will start showing on several platforms. Okay. Now once I do that, once I create the app, I also have to uh, like set installs in conversions. Okay, so what I can do is, it's already set, I can change that, or if it's not set, I can go create a conversion. Okay, so when I click on manage conversions, it's going to take me to the conversion section, which is then the tools. Okay, so I've already created this. If you want to create a new one, just click on plus conversion, select app, because that's what we are tracking. You can select Google Play installs. That's what it is, right? Mobile app install. You can say continue. Then you have to put basic settings like name of the conversion, value, how much is it worth for your business. You can select the mobile app and you can save and continue, and something like this will be created. Okay, and this will start tracking the installs for your app. So you're running the campaign, you should also know how many people actually installed it. So we saw the conversion tracking earlier as well, right? So we saw it for our other campaigns. So similarly, for app install campaigns, you have to create uh, a conversion. Okay, now how do these UAC campaigns look like? Sorry, ads look like. Let's see. So we've already seen the preview. Now we have some live examples. So this is a Trivago's example, and this is how these app campaigns look like in various platforms, right? So on different platforms, on app stores, on display network, on search network, the ad looks differently. This is an example of Amazon. Okay, on Play Store it looks like this, on search network and display. Okay, is it clear, guys? Is the UAC campaigns clear now? Which are your app install ads? Okay. Tejaswini is asking a question. She's saying call only ads by default run on mobile, or should we do it in settings? Tejaswini, call only ads can only run on mobile, and only on mobile phones. I mean, only on devices which can make calls. So not just mobile, but if your tab can also make call, they can run there also. Okay. The reason, because there's a mobile phone icon, and unless the user is not able to click on that and make a phone call, there's no point in the call only ad, right? It's a call only ad. So you don't have to do anything in the setting. It by default runs on mobile and mobile only. Okay, or a device which can make phone calls. Clear? All right. Okay, so we talked about app install ads. Okay. Let me also talk about. So we said that if you want to promote your app installs, you have to create UAC campaigns, universal app campaigns. Okay. Which automatically creates your ads and targets it to appropriate users. Okay, now fine. So you have created mobile app install ad with UAC. So you are promoting the app install. So people have now started coming to your app and they're installing it. Fine. So that's happening. Now what next? So suppose 1,000 people have downloaded my app. But is there a point if they're not even using the app? How do you make sure that people who have downloaded your app also use your app, right? So for that, there's something called mobile app engagement ad. Okay, so what are these? So what you do is you basically show some ads, and you basically say that if you are looking to install to use a particular app, right? So someone searches for, say, a food delivery app, and they already have Swiggy on their phone. So AdWords will, and if Swiggy has created a mobile app engagement ad, so Google will show that Swiggy's ad on the in the search result page. Okay, and there'll be an open button with it. So just to show you how they look like. Okay, so this is how it looks like. So if you search for hotels in San Francisco, you can see it, right? So there'll be an ad with an open button which says that you already installed the app, Why don't you just open it, right? If you're looking for hotels in San Francisco, just use the Hotel Tonight app, right? That's what it's saying. Okay, very simple and very effective. All right. So if you want to promote mobile app engagement ads, then sorry, if you want to promote mobile app engagement, you can create mobile app engagement ads. All right. So this is mobile app engagement, right? Okay. So we've talked about how to promote the app, how to promote the installs and engagement, right? It's very important to drive users to mobile version of your website. So basically what we are saying is that you create mobile ad campaigns, fine, but you should also drive users to mobile version of your website, right? It's very important because if you don't create a specific website for mobile phones, people who come and see your website, as I was talking before, they will not have a good experience. Okay, and that's why it's very important to promote, you create a mobile version of your website and send people there. Okay, you can also do some special coupons for mobile audience. You can see that, because if someone is on your mobile app, but if people are not really interested in doing a purchase on mobile phone, you can basically put a special coupon and say that if you do the purchase on mobile phone, you can get a special coupon, right? I'm going to show you a small video about mobile ad campaigns. Um just watch it, and when you're done, let me know. I'll proceed. Okay, this is what it is. Okay, I'm going to just paste the link, and you can watch it. And when you're done, just let me know. All right, guys. Uh, so that's what mobile ad campaigns are. We've already covered universal app campaign. We've seen the demo as well. Okay. Now I'm going to talk about some best practices for mobile ads. Okay. So what you should do is you should first of all connect with your mobile users. How do you do that? You have to make specific ads, as I said, to appeal to your users across devices. So you, as I said earlier, you cannot create one ad and expect that to perform well on all the devices. So create ads, add text that appeals to users across devices. That's the first thing. You can use if functions and ad customizers to speak directly to your mobile users. So what you can do is there's something called if function. You can basically, when you're writing your ad, you can say if device is mobile, then show free shipping on mobile orders, right? If it's not, then by default say buy now. Okay. So by doing this, what you're basically doing is the ad will look like this on mobile phones and it will look like this on other devices, right? On computer. Okay, so you can say free shipping on mobile order. So if someone is placing order through mobile phone, they can basically get free shipping. That's what you're promoting on mobile phone, right? So you're showing that so that people buy on mobile itself because they're seeing your ad on mobile phone. So it's very smart, right? So you can use stuff like that to basically uh, customize your ad for mobile phone. I'm just going to put the link to this in your reading list for this session. Okay, I'll add a bunch of other things as well. Okay. Now, what else can you do? You can elevate your mobile ads with ad extensions. Use local number for call and message extensions to build trust. Okay. So I talked about ad extensions. You should definitely use call extension and message extension. So similar to call extension, recently AdWords came up with message extension, wherein you can just click on that messaging button and you can directly chat with your customer. I mean, the business can chat with the customer when customer clicks on message extension, right? So that basically elevates the ads because people can not just see the ads but they can also call the business or talk to the business through message, right? Okay, the second thing is deliver great mobile and app site experiences. How do you do that? So you should customize your mobile user experience with mobile URLs first of all. So I talked about mobile friendly sites, mobile specific sites. So that's very important. You should create specific mobile URLs and specific mobile sites. The next thing is align mobile landing pages with a customer's place in the purchase journey. So when you're creating your customer's purchase journey, you have to have mobile landing page as one of your key elements, right? So when we talked about the mobile friendly sites, it's also important to have mobile landing pages, right? You should also make phone numbers clickable on your mobile sites. So if you have mobile sites, just like how call only ads have this icon, phone icon, which you can click and directly call the business, your website should also, mobile site should also have such a clickable phone number. So it becomes easy for people to call the business, right? So guys, mobile phones have very small screens. So it's very important that you provide that option to click on that icon, right? Because it's very difficult for people to read stuff. So they would rather want to talk to your business, right? So that's why it's very important. You should create universal app campaigns to drive app downloads and in-app actions. So we've talked about that. You should optimize your app's listing page. Okay, that's very crucial. So when you're listing your app on Play Store or Apple's App Store, it's very important to optimize the listing. It's very important to put relevant pictures, description, videos, images about your app, screenshots, etc. Right, to make sure that people uh, can get all the information about the app from there itself. Right, there's already a rating, so people know how the app has been performing with the existing users. Okay, you should also set up deep links, so that you should set up specific links that can take people directly to specific part of your app. Okay, and finally, Google recommends app links from Android and universal links for iOS for deep linking apps. So if you want to basically create deep links, which are basically links to specific parts of your app, Google recommends these links. So you can check these out as well. Okay. Okay. And now the next thing is you should measure the full value of your mobile, right? So account for both online and offline mobile conversions. So we just set up a install mobile app install conversion tracking, right? So it's important to do that. You should basically track all the important mobile interactions, not just app installs, but also other things like app engagement and stuff, right? So whenever you're creating your mobile ad campaigns, it's very important to use conversion tracking. Okay, and you should also see them in your conversions column. So remember, in when we were setting up conversion, we said that there's an option to say that count in conversions. So this is what it is basically. When you see your uh, campaign performance, there you should be able to see the number of conversions from that campaign. Okay. All right, set bids that drive profitable mobile traffic. So you should automate bids using AdWords smart bidding that's suggested. What are smart bidding methods? We talked about them, right? So any bidding method which uses conversions and optimizes for a particular thing like target CPA, which is optimizing your ad campaign for acquisition conversion, right? Or target ROAS, which is return on ad spend. So all these are smart bidding methods. So you should automate bidding by using smart bidding methods. If you're not using automated bidding, use device specific target CPAs. What are these? Basically, you can say that for mobile phones, I want to make sure that my conversion happens in a particular amount, which is target CPA, right? In case you're using manual bidding, bid your ads to the top of the search results on mobile where it is profitable. So we talked about this bidding method as well, top of search results. You should use that as well. Okay, and finally change base bids to hit your overall portfolio goals. Then use device bid adjustment for your mobile performance. So I wanted to show you this. Uh, okay, let me go to a campaign. Okay, if I go to any campaign, let's say this. Okay, when you go to any campaign in settings, you can find a tab for devices. When you click on that, you can basically see all the devices where your ads will be shown. By default, the ads are shown on all the devices, on computers, on mobile phones, on tablets, right? And you can also see the performance of campaign on each of the devices, right? As you can see here. What you can do is you can do bid adjustment. So what you can do is if you don't want to show suppose ads on computers, suppose you are creating a campaign and you want to show that only on mobile phones and tablets, you can go there and there are two options. You can either increase the bid by some certain percentage or decrease. So if you don't want to show ads on computers, you can decrease the bid by 100%. So a bid of 10 rupees will become zero. So now what you're doing is you're not going to show ads on mobiles on computers. Okay, you can also increase the bid if you want to say for you tablets are very important, so you increase the bid by say 20%. So what we'll do is 10 rupees bid normally will become 12 for just for tablets. Okay, so you're giving more preference to tablets, so ads will be shown with a bigger bid on tablets. Okay, so you can do either increase or decrease bids by a certain percentage using device bid adjustment. Okay, and that's in device in settings. All right. Okay, so this is basically all about mobile ad campaigns. Do we have any questions, guys, till now? Is it all clear up till now? So very simple, right? So mobile ad campaigns can be used to promote your apps, to promote app installs, to promote app engagements. You should definitely use the mobile ad best practices. You should have a mobile friendly website. You should create experience specific to mobile users or experience which is good for all the users across devices. All right, clear till now? Okay, so I have to cover some other topics. Why don't we take a break now, and once we come back, we can take on from where we left off here, and we'll cover the tracking and reporting, and several other topics. Sounds good? So I'll see you in half an hour. Let's meet again at 11:30, right? And then we can carry forward from there. Okay, guys. Thank you. See you after the break. Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a good break. Right, so this is the last half of the search marketing module, and till now we've actually covered all kinds of campaigns and we've covered most there is to cover in AdWords, except one thing, which is basically how do you so you've set up the campaigns, but how do you track the performance and how do you report? How do you see the reporting? Right, it's very important to basically properly first of all track the metrics which are important for your business, right? And it's also very important to uh, know how to properly report your campaign's performance, right? And that's how you can actually improve the performance. So we are going to see that in this next section, which is the last section. All right, so let's start with the tracking. So, what do you track? So, because there's so many businesses, everyone is using AdWords, right? But not all businesses are using AdWords alike, right? It all depends on what your business objective or business goal is, right? And based on your business goal, you can track specific metrics that can help you understand whether your business objective is being met by AdWords or not. Okay. So before I talk about that in detail, watch this video, right? And when you're done, just let me know. Okay, just let me know when you're done. Guys, are we done? Yeah, I just saw Mudit saying that. Abhijit, Anuradha, have you guys seen it? Okay. All right. So I think Deepak, you just joined a bit late. So what we were talking about was that we have discussed all kinds of campaigns, right? Okay, Abhijit, you can continue. I'll just give a brief to Deepak about what we discussed. So Deepak, we were talking about tracking and reporting. We've discussed most of the campaigns which are available in AdWords. We've talked about various aspects of those campaigns, but we've not discussed till now how to track the performance of these campaigns and how to track the reporting, right? So that's what we are going to do in this section. And we were starting with tracking, and we said that it's very important to know your business goal and track specific metrics which can basically help you understand whether you're meeting your business objectives through these campaigns, right? So it's very important to first of all know your business goal and then track specific metrics which are relevant to your business goal. So I'm going to talk about those in a bit. So once Abhijit is done watching the video, we'll just start. All right, awesome. So let's look at some of these business objectives. So if you have seen the video, you already know there are primarily three business objectives. So the first business objective is to increase traffic to the website, right? So suppose you are a blog. Uh, so what do you want? You're not selling anything, right? You just want people to come to your site. How do you make money? Through AdSense, right? You register your blog on AdSense. So the objective is to increase traffic on your website. So what do you measure? So you measure clicks, you measure click-through rate, you measure keyword performance. You see keyword performance report every day. You also see search terms report. Okay, what are these things? So clicks, you know already. So the more the clicks on your ads, the more is the traffic to the website. So that's the straight away. I mean, it's pretty obvious metric to track if you want traffic to the website. The more clicks, the more the traffic to the website, right? CTR, why is it important? Click through rate. So you just not only you need to see how many people are clicking on your ads and coming to your site, but how many people are seeing, and with respect to that how many are clicking. So click through rate is pretty important to know how your ads are performing and whether enough people are actually coming to your site, right? Then you have keyword performance report. So this is a report, I'll actually show it to you in some time, but this is a report where you can see how each of your keywords are performing, right? How many clicks each of them are getting, how much CTR, at what cost, right? So that you can optimize each and every keyword for performance to make sure that you increase the clicks and CTR for these keywords, right? So hence keyword performance report is important. Then we have something called search terms report. So search terms report is basically a report. Let me actually just show you where it is. So it's a report in AdWords where you can see what users are searching exactly. So if you go to keyword section, you'll see search terms. Okay. So you click on that, you will see the exact keywords which people have searched when they saw your ads. Okay. So you see all these keywords are actual keywords which people have searched. Okay. And this was the performance for these keywords. Okay. So you can see that, and from here you can basically, if you want, you can add one of these as a keyword or as a negative keyword if you don't want people to, if you don't want to show your ad for certain keywords. Okay. All right. Now let's look at some more goals. So other goal could be what? Increasing sales or other conversions. So if your conversion objective is sales, which is true for most websites, most e-commerce websites at least, then you have to increase the sales from the website. That's your objective, right? Now, if you want to increase the sales, the most obvious metric to track is conversions, because more the what are conversions? Conversion is actually sales in most cases, or even if it's something else like download of a brochure or anything else, is basically conversions, right? So if you're tracking conversions in your AdWords account, you have to measure that and you have to try to increase those conversions, right? But is conversions enough? Not really. You also have to see at what cost you're getting those conversions. So if you're getting conversions at a cost which is actually not profitable for you, then there's no point, right? So it's also important to track what is the cost per conversion. Okay. The next thing is you have to check conversion rate. Why? Because it's not enough to have conversions. You also have to see at what rate is your website converting, right? So what that means is that if say 100 people are clicking on the site, you have to see how many of those are actually converting. So if 10 of them are converting, then conversion rate is 10%, right? So you have to track that as well. Then you have keyword conversion data. Again, similar to keyword performance report, you have keyword conversion data. So you have to see how each and every keyword is performing in terms of conversion. So how many sales a particular keyword in your campaign is giving you. So you see that, and maybe you remove keywords which are not giving you conversions, or give more importance to keywords which are giving you conversions. So you can increase the bid for those keywords which are giving you better conversions, right, and conversion rate, and you can remove ones have a low conversion rate, right? So hence keyword conversion data is also an important metric to focus. What's next? So landing page data is also important. You have to see how your landing page is performing, right? So if your landing page quality is not good, people will not purchase on your site, and hence landing page performance, landing page quality, there's a score for that as well, which is there in your AdWords account. You have to track that. Where do you see all these things? If I go to any campaign, okay, if I go to all campaigns, these are my campaigns, right? uh, if I want to see conversions, I can just add a column here. So you see this drop down, just say modify columns, right? Here you go and you can add whatever you want. So conversions is not added in my columns right now. So I just go there, click on conversions, add conversions by clicking on this arrow button. I can also add cost per conversion, conversion rate, right? So once I do this, I say apply, and I'll start seeing the conversions and cost per conversion and conversion rate, right? See that here? So you can see all those things like conversion, conversion rate, and cost per conversion here, right, in your AdWords account. You can see it by ad groups, you can see it by campaigns, right? You can see it by keywords. So this is where you see the keywords performance. How many conversions is this keyword giving me, right? So I can see that here. So again, here I have not added the column. I can just go to modify columns and add that here, right? And similarly, where's the landing page data? So landing page experience, there's a score for that. Right now, these campaigns are paused, so I'm not seeing quality score, ad relevance, and landing page experience. But I will see a score here, which is basically between, which is either average, below average, or above average. Okay. So these are the metrics you have to track if your goal is to increase sales. Right? Any questions till now, guys? Keep asking, guys. Okay, if something is not clear. Okay. Moving forward, what's the next objective? So we've covered increasing website traffic, we've covered increasing sales. Another goal could be raising brand awareness. So if your objective is to basically make sure that people know about your brand, then what metrics would you track? Okay, so through AdWords campaigns, you're trying to basically create awareness for your brand, right? That's the objective. So the first thing which comes to mind is how many people are actually seeing my ad. If more people see my ad, even if they don't click on the ad, even if they don't buy my product, still they're seeing the ad, right? So there's some brand awareness which is being created. So hence the impressions is the first metric I would track. So impressions is what? Number of people seeing the ad. Okay, where's impressions here? Impressions is yeah, right here. Okay, so these many people saw the ad from this keyword. Similarly, I can go to campaigns. I can see how many impressions each of my campaign is getting, right? So these are the number of people who have seen my ad, right? So I'm increasing my brand awareness through this. The next thing is CTR, which is click through rate. So if you are on Google search network, then this is the customer engagement metric. So fine, the first thing is how many people see my ad, but it's also important to see how many people are clicking the ad, because if people are clicking the ad, that means they've read the ad and they've gone to the website. So that is even a bigger brand awareness, right? And hence on GSN you track CTR. If you are on Google Display Network, then people, it's not just about clicking, right? It's also about conversions, because these are image ads or video ads, right? So here you will basically optimize for conversions, right? And you'll see that the conversions increase, because the more the conversions, the more is your brand awareness. The final two metrics you will track is reach and frequency. So how many users are seeing your ad and at what frequency? How often are they seeing your ad, right? So that is also very important. Okay, and the final goal which I would talk about is increasing return on investment. So what is this goal? Basically, if you are putting X amount in your ads, in your AdWords campaigns, you want Y amount of returns out of it, right? You want to make sure that if you're spending 100 rupees, you make more than 100 rupees out of those campaigns, right? So that's why return on investment is very important. And if you want to track that, pretty much conversion is enough, right? And conversion at and cost, like of course the associated metrics with conversion, things like cost per conversion is very important to see at what cost you're getting the conversion. So you can optimize conversions, you can optimize conversion rate and cost per conversion to make sure that your ROI is good, right? Okay. All right. So this is what you track. So depending on your four business objectives which I've listed, the video actually showed three. I've added one more. So depending on your business objectives, these are the metrics you will track, right? Simple. Okay. Now, how do you? The next thing I want to talk about is the reporting. So how do you see reports in AdWords? Okay. So let's discuss that. So in AdWords, there are two ways to see the reports. The first and the most easy way is to directly just see the interface, because AdWords in AdWords interface, everywhere you go, you will actually see the reports, right? That's how it is built. So if you go to the campaigns tab, you will see all the campaigns are listed, and you will see their budget status and then performance, right? So this is actually a report in itself, right? Where you're seeing performance of all the campaigns, impressions, clicks, CTR, every CPC cost, everything, right? Conversions. I can add even more columns to see whatever I want here, right? I can see that for ad groups also, I can see that for ads also, right? Everything is a report. I can see it for keywords, for ad extensions, videos, anything I want. Okay. Right. So this is the first place where you see your performance, right? So I can see search terms here, I can see negative keywords. So for everything, there's a report. You can also go to dimensions, which is specifically for reporting, right? Dimensions basically gives you uh, a snapshot of performance of your campaigns, right? You can see it for one campaign, you can see it together for all the campaigns. It's up to you, but it will show you the performance day wise, or you can change the view from this drop down. So you can see it for several things. So you can see day wise, which is what is listed here. Or if I want to see, let's say, time wise, time of the day wise, then I go to time. Then you can say either day of the week, day is what's selected, week, month, quarter, hour of the day. So if I select hour of the day, I'll see in 24 hours, in each hour, how many clicks, impressions, or what kind of performance I got. How do I use this data? I can schedule my ads. So if I see that my ads are actually performing really well at a particular time, I can make sure that my ads are shown at that time, right? That I can do from where I can go to settings and I can put ad scheduling, right? I can similarly see several other things. So one of the very useful views is campaign details. Okay. So what this does is it lists all the campaigns with all the settings of the campaigns and performance and site links. So everything you want to see about all the campaigns, you can see in a snapshot. So you can basically compare performance of different campaigns. So if you're using a particular bidding strategy, say target CPA for campaign number 2, right? So you can see how this campaign has performed. If this has performed better than any other similar campaign with say CPC as a bidding strategy, then you can change the bidding strategy for this campaign also to target CPA. So you can compare performance, see what's working, what's not working in a snapshot, right? So this is pretty useful view. Okay. Similarly, there's several other, you can explore them in your own time. You can see pretty much whatever you want from here. Okay, there's set reports, they're just views, right? You can see any of those, any of these, right? Okay. Now, this is basically what you can like. These are the reports you can see in your AdWords interface, the normal interface, right? But there's a dedicated section in AdWords for reports, right? So you can use that as well. So that's called Reports Editor. Okay. So reports editor basically allows you to create your own reports. That's the whole point. So you can create them and you can save them and you can see them anytime you want. Okay. So if I want to show you, so what you can do is if you want to create a new report, you click on plus report like we do for everything, right? In AdWords, if you want to create a campaign, you click on plus campaign. If you want to create an ad, you click on plus ad and so on. Similarly, here you click on plus report. You see there are a bunch of options to create different types of reports. You can create a table form of reporting. You can create line chart, bar chart, pie chart, scatter chart, right? Let me select the table. Okay, now what I do is it's a simple drag and drop interface wherein I can select anything I want from this list, right? Everything, all the metrics are added here. So what I do is whatever I want to see, I just drag it and drop it here. So if I drop campaigns, all my campaigns are listed now, right? Then I can add, let me add some performance metrics for these campaigns. So suppose I want to see, okay, let's take one of the objectives which we are discussing, right? So suppose I want to see I want to increase the website traffic, right? So what are the metrics I want to track? Clicks and CTR mainly, and these are the reports anyways. So what I do is I go to my AdWords interface. I've already dropped campaigns. I drop clicks here. Then I drop CTR. Okay, that's all I wanted to see. I'll just create a report for myself, right? And what you can do is there are a bunch of things you can do here. You can basically change the view first of all. So if I want to see the same thing in line chart format, I can do that, right? If I want to see that in bar chart format, I can select whatever I want. I can create a bar chart for my report, right? Similarly, I can do pie chart and scatter chart, right? Okay. Now there's a filter here which you can select and you can pretty much filter your report by these, right? So there are a bunch of things which are available here. Okay, right. You can also see the report for a particular duration if you want. And once you're done creating your report, you can actually save it in several formats. So you can save it in CSV, Excel, TSV, XML. There's multiple formats you can save it in. Okay. Right. So let me go back to the presentation. Okay, so this is what a reports editor is, right? We've discussed this. It's a simple drag and drop interface. You can do multi-segment analysis. You can do advanced filtering, right? We've discussed how you can basically see different types of views in your dimensions, right? So we've seen all this. The different types of reports which are listed here: geographic, extensions report, display reports. So you can see all of these in your own time, right? You've seen the demo as well, right? Okay, you can do this activity. It's very simple. If you want to see all the keywords in a campaign that have a lot of clicks from mobile devices, you can basically create a report, right? Add clicks and keywords, and then you can add a report filter that narrows your dataset down to mobile devices. So you can do this activity, you can play around, and you can basically see whatever you want to see in your reporting, right? Okay. So this is clear. Let me move on to the next topic, which is optimization strategies. So we've talked about how to track the performance of your campaign and how to create reports or how to see reports in your AdWords interface to make sure that you optimize your campaigns. So let's talk about some optimization strategies. So how do you like when you see the reports, how do you use them? That's what we're going to cover in this section. All right. So there's some optimization tips which I'm going to talk about here. Right, there are a bunch of tips. The first is you should organize campaigns by theme. Okay. So suppose you already have an existing AdWords account. So what you go and see is that whether the campaigns are organized by themes. So that means is, and we have discussed this in first session as well, that you should group keywords and ads based on same theme. So suppose it's Mintra, we created an ad structure for Mintra. If you guys remember, what we did was we basically created the ad groups based on products, right? Different kinds of products. But you can do it in many ways. You can do it by geography. Suppose your business is in all the metro cities in India, so you can create one campaign for Bangalore, another for Chennai, right? So you can do it for any category, but you have to make sure that the theme you select is consistent, and the keywords and ads are similar, right? They are basically, they have a consistency, they have a relevancy, right? So you have to ensure that. You also have to ensure placements and ads are about a specific topic. Okay. Then you have, I mean, we discussed bunch of tips on writing great ads, right? So some of these are listed here, but we have discussed this in detail anyways. Uh, Next is you should target your ads effectively. So what that means is that you have to make sure that your ads are seen by right people. How do you make sure that your ads are seen by right people? By making sure that your targeting is right, right? So if you're doing search network, then you should always see basically which keywords should not trigger your ad, right? You should add them in negative match type, right? So I gave you this example when we were discussing negative match types. Of Book My Show, and how if they want to sell movie tickets, they might put trailer in negative, right? Because they don't want to show the ad to people who are looking to watch trailer, right? Okay. You should exclude irrelevant websites and placements. So how do you do that? You basically go to your display campaign, right? Where you have you can see in display network. Let me just show it to you quickly. So if I go to any display campaign, I can see the targeting, right? I can see the tab for display. This is it. Okay. So if I show you any display campaign, right? There's a display network tab here. We've discussed this already. And here you can basically see your placements. Placements are basically places where your ad was shown, right? So all the placements are listed here, right? So you can see, and you can exclude the ones which you don't want to, I mean, where you don't want to see your ad. Okay. All right. So you can exclude specific web pages, apps, category of sites, right? Or pages about a specific topic. So you can do all that, right? How do you exclude these? Like specific topics, etc. What you do is you go to your targeting, plus targeting, and you can say campaign exclusion. So already, suppose this particular URL has been excluded, right? These site categories are excluded. You can add more campaign exclusions, right, from here. Okay. You should target multiple placements about the same subject, right? So combination of popular and highly specific websites. So if you are promoting, say you want to sell cricket bats, then you should promote your ad on several websites which talk about cricket, right? You should use a combination of popular and highly specific websites. Okay. So don't show the ad on sites which are talking about football, because then it won't be specific, right? People who are on that site won't be interested or might not be interested in cricket bats, right? Okay, you should reach people who have already shown interest. We talked about remarketing, right? So remarketing is how you basically show your ads again to people who have come to your website and left without converting, right? So you should use remarketing. All right, you should use bid adjustment. So I was showing you a while back how you can basically target ads on a particular device, right? Using device bid adjustment. So there are a bunch of bid adjustment. You can do location bid adjustment. You can do device bid adjustment, right? So all that is, where is it done? You go to settings and you have a tab for devices. Here you do device bid adjustment. There's a tab for locations. Here you do location, right? If you're targeting multiple countries or cities, you can basically see them here, right? And so on. Okay, now there's an opportunity section in your AdWords account. Okay, so if I go to the AdWords account on top, so we have covered reports, you've covered tools, some tools. Similarly, there's an opportunities tab. What it does is it basically gives you some suggestions on improving performance of your campaigns. Okay, so you can basically use this and you can improve the performance, right? So you can do a bunch of things. You can remove redundant keywords and make your account easier to manage. You can add new keywords which are suggested here, right? There are several opportunities will be suggested which will be suggested here, and you can, if you want, you can use them. If you feel that these are like really good suggestions, you can use them, or you can ignore them as well, right? So these are some of the opportunities. So add 20 keywords related to reading. This will result in whatever like increase in clicks, impressions, that also it shows, right? So there are a bunch of things which it will show, and you should use them, right? All right. Is it clear, guys? Any questions till now? So we just have one final topic which is remaining. Any questions till now, guys, about anything? Okay, I'll just pause for a minute. Just go through the previous topics. If you have any questions, you can ask, and I'll resume after a minute if we don't have any questions. Alright, guys. So I don't see any questions. So I guess this is pretty simple and clear. So the final topic we have to cover today is adverse account audit. So we have seen more stuff. Now, so there are two kinds of people who handle adverse account, right? There are in-house employees, right, who maintain their own adverse account, and then there are agencies which handle clients account. So an agency might be handling 10 clients, and they have a team which basically creates and optimizes and manages the adverts account of those clients, right? uh, for anyone, whether you're an agency or whether you're an individual who is working on AdWords account, it's sometimes important to do an account audit, right? Especially when you're starting uh, uh, to work on a particular account, right? So if I join a company as a digital marketer, I would ideally do an AdWords account audit before I start working on those accounts, right? So what it means is you basically see bunch of things and see whether everything is fine or not. So you already know how each and every element of adverse account works, right? By now, so there's a template with I'm going to discuss just now. You can basically audit any account, right? And basically auditing is showing, I mean, seeing the how the account has been structured, how everything is going, and whether it can be improved in certain ways, right? So there's a template for that, which is right here, which I'm going to show, right? But before that, account audit is important process to review your account performance and make appropriate changes, right? It's an ongoing process. So I would ideally do it when I start working on an AdWords campaigns, but it's not just that. You should keep doing it in between, right? So that you can make sure, see, you're regularly going to improve the performance of your campaigns by creating reports, by tracking the performance, important metrics according to your business goal, right? But it's not enough. What you need to do is you need to specifically do an account audit where you see everything about your account, right? Because when you're regularly reviewing the performance and making changes, you're looking at particular thing, right? Few particular things, right? You're not seeing everything. So, and that's why it's a very important ongoing process, right? And separate audits may be done for Google Search Network and Display Network campaigns because both work in a different way. The targeting for GTN is the various targeting options which are there, right? In search network, the targeting is simple. You're basically just targeting people by their search keywords, right? So you need to do separate audits for GSN and GTN campaigns. Okay. All right. So this is a checklist, a template which you can use if you want to basically do account audit. Okay. So what do you see first? The first thing you see is your overall account structure. Okay. That's how we also started, right? When we were learning AdWords, we saw the account structure as one of the first few things. So you have to see whether account has been properly structured or not, whether there is a scope for improvement there, right? Whether all the campaigns talk about a particular theme, and within the campaign whether the ad groups are tightly knit, they are bucketed, whether like all that structure, whether whether it is consistent or not, has to be seen. Okay. The next thing is campaign settings. So you have to see, so whatever settings you have put for all the campaigns, you should see them, and make sure that the settings are fine, whether the right locations are targeted, right languages are targeted, whether the ads are optimized for particular time, like whether they're scheduled properly, right? Whether they're being shown throughout the day or at a particular time, right? So all the settings should be checked, right? And you have to make sure that all everything is working perfectly in terms of settings, right? The next thing is ad groups. So you should see whether your ad groups are theme based, which we discussed in optimization tips also. So you have to make sure that a particular ad group talks about a particular thing, and all the keywords within that are very specific to that ad group. And the ad which is created is also specific to the keywords in that ad group, right? What you should also see is that there are not too many keywords in the ad group. So ideally, there should be between 10 to 20 keywords in any ad group, not more than 20, because then it becomes too much for to make sure that your ad is also relevant to all the 30 keywords, for example, right? So it's very important to have limited number of keywords per ad group. Okay. All right. The next thing you see is keywords itself. So you should analyze all the keywords, see what match types are being used, whether it's broad match or phrase match or broad match modifier, right? Or exact match. So you should see all the match types, what is working, what is not working. If certain keyword is doing really well, you can add it in match exact match type, right? You can create another ad group and you can add that particular keyword in exact match, right? Because if it's exact match, then it'll do even better, right? You should do a QA on your negative keywords list. So I was talking about the search term report. I showed you how you can see that, right? How what people are searching. So you should see that, and you should make sure that your negative keywords list is appropriate, right? If there's a particular keyword which people are searching and which is showing your ad and which is not relevant to your business, then you should add it to negative keyword list. Okay. The next thing is ads. So we talked about how to write great ads, right? So you should also review your ads and see whether all those checklists, all those points we had discussed are covered in your ads or not. Are your ads grammatically correct? First of all, is the ad text catchy? Is it attracting people? How is the performance, right? Whether, I mean, that's how you can see whether it's catchy or not, right? You should see that whether all the important USPs are highlighted, whether if there's any sale going on, whether that is being captured, if there's enough call to action in the ad, right? And of course, when was the last ad test performed? So you should see that as well. The next thing you see is quality score. Now, this is one of the most important things and one of the most commonly ignored thing which marketers do. So you should see the quality score of all your keywords, right? And you should try to improve that. How do you see the quality score? I told you, right? You can add columns. So if I'm just going to the campaigns and I'm going to show you that. Just a minute. Right. So if I go to keywords, I can see the quality score here. Right now I'm not seeing it because the campaigns are paused, but I can see quality score of each and every keyword. And I can also see the three factors which determine the quality score. So which is ad relevance, landing page experience, and expected CTR. So I can basically improve all of these elements and in turn the quality score, right? So I should constantly and regularly during my audit, I should see what is the quality score of all my keywords and whether there is any scope of improvement in these three. Okay. this you cannot control, but these two you can, right? Okay. The next is ad extensions. So we have discussed ad extensions in several topics, but these are very important, right? So if you are a bit more brick and mortar business, if you have an offline store, you have to make sure that location extension is implemented, because that's very important, right? That's how people will reach your business. That's how they can see the map and location of your business, right? If you are a call based business, right? If you are, say, a delivery food delivery business, where people call and order food, right? Then you have to make sure that the call extension is implemented, whether your calls are like whether there's a phone number with your ad, right? And also you can see things like whether call extension is only during office hours, because if you are showing call extension even in the night when your business is closed, there's no point, right? People will call and no one will pick up. So you should make sure that the call extension is implemented on only during office hours. Okay. The next thing is conversion tracking. So you have to see whether conversion tracking is enabled for all the campaigns, right? For different types of campaigns. For UAC, we just created one conversion tracking. Similarly, for other campaigns, we discussed that. So you have to make sure that the conversion tracking is enabled for all the campaigns, right? And it's correctly placed in your website also, right? On right pages, okay? So that you can track the appropriate conversions. Okay. You should also see targeting settings. So whether the location you're targeting is right, device you're targeting is right, audience you're targeting is right. So all that you can do, and you can review your device bit adjustments as well, which is what basically which we just discussed some time back, whether all the campaigns are being shown to the right devices, which it was meant to be shown to, right? And you can review that and suggest performance, right? So these are the 10 things. It's kind of a template which you can use to do AdWords account audit. Okay. Now there's an activity for you. You should do a conduct an AdWords account audit for an AdWords account using the AdWords Performance Grader tool. Okay. So there's this tool which is put out by WordStream, right? Where you can grade the performance, right? So you should do this activity after the session. Okay. I'll put anyway. This is in the presentation, so you can click on this link and you can do it. All right. So with that, we end today's session and search engine marketing overall. Um, any questions you have, you can ask me now. If you guys are leaving, before leaving, now there's a feedback form which is for all the sessions, all the 4 sessions. Basically, feedback form from me. If you liked my sessions, please make sure that you give a good feedback. And in any case, just fill it before you leave, guys. Okay, I'll take your questions, but if you guys are leaving, please fill this and then leave. All right. Okay. Let's see. Another is asking any particular certification to qualify as an auditor. No, there's no certification to qualify as an auditor, and rather, but what you can do is, and which you all of you should do once you finish all your assignments and tasks, and you like are very well versed with the AdWords interface. There's a bunch of certifications which are provided by AdWords. Okay, so there's an exam which is conducted by AdWords. So you can basically go here and in Google Partners. So they have bunch of exams. There's AdWords Fundamentals, there's Search Advertising, Display, Mobile. You can basically take these exams, and there's a curriculum also. There's a place where you can read up about all these things and prepare more if you want, and then you can appear for these exams. Okay, so you have to go to Google Partners to basically take these exams. Okay, so in the certifications tab, you will see your certifications as well, and you can go to Academy of for Ads. Okay, you set it up, and you can then start learning, and you can appear for the exam as well. Okay, is that fine, Anuradha? Okay. Next thing she's asking is factors affecting quality score are independent or interdependence. Interdependency is there. If you just improve the factor that is least, will improve quality score. Okay, yeah, exactly. So, see, first of all, there is no interdependency between certain things, and there is, so it's not a clear cut, like it's not black or white. It's basically there is some interdependency in the sense that the three factors, what are they? They are ad relevance, landing page quality, and expected CTR. So, if you improve ad relevance, right, uh, and your quality score improves, right, so you will get more clicks. So your CTR will improve, right? So your expected CTR will also go up, right? So it's interdependent in that sense, but you have to work on them independently. If you want to increase your ad relevance, you have to go to each and every ad and make sure that the ad has keywords which are which for which you want to show the ads, which are present in your ad groups, right? Similarly, if you want to improve landing page experience, you have to make sure that landing page quality, all those four factors we talked about, relevance, originality, transparency, and navigation, all those are taken care of, right? And which will in turn again increase expected CTR because your quality score is going to improve, right? So all these are interdependent in that sense, but you have to work on them individually to improve them. And if something is not well, if something is low, then you have to work on improving that particular factor, right? Okay, the next thing she's asking is auditing is kind of rechecking your own work to be in line with best practices. Exactly. So auditing is rechecking your own work. It could be rechecking someone else's work, right? Uh, in either case, it has to be done to make sure that you're basically following all the best practices, like you said. CTR is dependent on ad relevance and landing page maybe. So CTR, yeah, exactly. So expect, so see, basically when you increase ad relevance or landing page experience, then your quality score will increase, right? You can't increase CTR manually, but when you increase the quality score, there's a chance that your ad will be shown more, right? And it will be, and since you're increasing these two things, ad relevance and landing page, people will like your ad better, right? So if your ad relevance is high, that means that that ad has more keywords which people are searching for, so people are more likely to click on those ads, and hence CTR will also improve. So CTR is, yes, dependent on ad relevance and landing page also. Okay. She's saying, as I see in the report, individual scores are given. So ask that question. Right, exactly. So and that's why individual scores are given so that you can optimize, right? And it's very important, guys. Just know that when you are working on AdWords, keep looking at your quality score and these factors, and make sure you keep improving them. Okay. All right. Anuradha, did I answer your question? Guys, anything else, please keep asking. I'm here for next 10-15 minutes, whatever time it's required. We're anyways finishing up early. So if you have any more questions, you can ask them now. And if you're leaving, please fill the feedback link. And thank you so much for attending. You guys were really good audience, and it was a pleasure teaching you guys. So thank you so much for attending the sessions, and especially on a Sunday, because I know how tough it is to come on a Sunday morning and sit in front of laptop for 3 hours. So thank you so much for doing that, and I hope you had a good learning, and I hope you basically implement these concepts. And if you're looking to enhance your digital marketing career, you do that. Or if you want to start your career in digital marketing, you're able to do that with this course. Okay. So you can ask any questions now, or if you have any further questions for later, you can ask them in the Q&A section as well. Okay. So your LMS has a Q&A section. Okay. That's where you can ask. And also, guys, make sure you do all your assignments after this session. Okay. Okay. And Raj is asking, we fix budget at campaign level or at ad group level or further down. Okay, so you fix budget at your campaign level. You don't have a budget for ad group or keyword. Okay, if I just show you, so if you go to any campaign and you go to settings, right, and I go to all settings, select a campaign. That's where you set or you can change the budget. Okay, so you have budget here. That's all you can do. This is a daily budget, right? and you can see the, of course, you can see the all the budgets here as well for all the campaigns. Is that clear? Okay. Abhijit is saying about ad delivery. Okay. Can you elaborate this question, Abhijit? Okay. What is ad delivery? Uh, right. So see, I mean, it's not a concept in itself. Ad delivery is basically showing the ads, right? Now you can show ads. What I was talking, I think the question came from what I was just discussing about ad delivery. What I meant was you can show ads at any time you want, right? And so basically, when you create any let me just show you one campaign. So if you create any campaign, what you can do is while creating the campaign, you have an option to schedule the ad, right? So you click on ad delivery. Just a sec. Yeah, and so there are few things you can do. One is you can schedule the ad, and then you can basically say that optimize my ad for conversions. Basically, show ads expected to provide more conversions. So there are a bunch of things we can do in ad rotation. So you can rotate. Suppose you have four ads, right, in this campaign. Then you can basically rotate them evenly. So what you can do is show all the ads same number of times, right? Or you can say that ads which are performing better, like which are getting me more conversions, I basically want to show those ads, right? Or I can say that the best performing ads, right? So you can basically select any of these options, and that's how the ad will be shown, right? Okay. And you can also, as I was saying, in ad delivery you can also uh, schedule your ads. So you can say that I want to show ads at a particular time only, say only on Thursday, or only between 3 to 9 p.m., right? So it's up to you. You can do that as well. Yeah, so you can create an ad schedule from here. Is that okay? Abhijit? Yeah, you can change it anytime, Abhijit. So you can set it up anytime, you can change it anytime you want. So that's the beauty of AdWords, right? You can basically do changes at any point in anything about AdWords in your campaign. You can change your ad groups, you can change your ads, add keywords, add negative keywords, change ad schedule, ad delivery, whatever you want to do, right? Is that fine, Abhijit? Okay. Another saying, can you please place a tag in the website? Okay, how to create a tag? I've shown you earlier in the conversions. If you go, when you create a conversion, it gives you a tag, right? If you remember, we created conversions. We actually created a conversion today also. But when you create a conversion, once your conversion is created, you can see a tag. This is a tag, right? So this you copy and you paste it wherever you want, on whichever page you want to track the conversions. Okay. How to put the tag on website, I will not discuss that because that is a bit technical. So whoever is maintaining your site can add it, or Google also has an option where you can yourself do. There's something called Google Tag Manager. Okay, so Tag Manager is actually pretty beautiful. You can just go there and you can yourself add any tags you want to the website. So first you have to add the tag manager code. Someone has to add the tag manager code to the website. Then you can just go to tag manager. I'm not going to discuss this in detail, otherwise you just get confused, but you can explore it yourself if you want. So tag manager basically lets you put any code like this one, right, which we just copied here, into the website directly. So you don't need to even contact your technical team to put it. You can do it yourself. Okay. Is that fine, Anuradha? All right, great. Any other questions, Mudit? I've not heard from you today. Any questions? Or Deepak? Already, Deepak. Guys, please finish your assignments. Right? Make sure that your assignments are for all the sessions. You finish the assignments and do that soon, because if you leave it for a few days, then you'll not do first of all, and you might even forget some concepts. Right? So strike it while it's hot. You've just finished all the 4 sessions. Go ahead, do your assignments. Okay. Please try to finish them in next 1 week. Okay. Where are your assignments again? In your certified. I mean, this is the course. Certified Search Engine Marketing Master course, right? So you can basically, all the 4 weeks are listed here. So you can click on this and you can basically do your assignments, right? So all the instructions are there already. All right, sure, Deepak. So if you have any questions later, guys, you have a Q&A platform in your LMS. You can ask them there itself. Okay. All right, guys. Just make sure that you fill the feedback link before you leave. And any questions you can ask, of course. So I'm pasting the feedback link again in case you didn't see it earlier. Alright, guys, if you don't have any questions, feel free to leave now because we are done with the session. Right? Abhijit is asking which keywords is used in dynamic search ad campaign. Okay, so if you're doing a dynamic search ad campaign, Abhijit, what it basically does is it basically picks up the ad from your website, right? So the keywords you use are same. It's just that the ad is created from your website, from the meta tags and the description and whatever content is there on the site. The ad is picked up from there. But the keywords, you can use anything, right? No, just like your normal keywords or ad group, you can use that. The only difference is that the ad is dynamic and it's created from your website. Is that okay, Abhijit? Actually, let me just add this also to your reading list. You can read more about dynamic search campaigns. I'll also add Google Tag Manager to your reading list in case you guys want to go through that.